Welcome back to another episode of the Switch Survival Guide. Today, we are finally going to make a saddle for our beaver, which we've had since we were like level 30 or something like that. We've been using a cool trick to gather wood with it all this time, but we finally hit level 61 so we can actually build a saddle and ride this beaver like it was always meant to be ridden. And we'll also give you some really helpful tips on how to maximize the efficiency of gathering with a beaver, and we'll even give you a preview on a really amazing trick that you can do later on in the game, and we'll teach you about that too, so be sure to watch the rest of this episode. So in order to make the Beaver Saddle, we need to be level 61, which is pretty significant, and we're going to have to go really far down our engrams list to actually unlock that saddle. We just did another very big leveling spree and got a few more levels, which just got us to the point where we can unlock this saddle. And it is a very resource-intensive saddle. We need a lot of cementing paste, a lot of metal, and lots of other stuff too. So I am actually going to check my smithy, and we've had a lot of chitin saved up from all of the trilobites we've been killing over the course of the game, and a few other things too. But mostly chitin comes from bugs and arthropods and anything like that. If it looks like a giant bug, you're probably going to get chitin from it. So we're going to clear out the mortar and pestle here and actually make the cementing paste that we need. And that is requiring chitin and stone in order to smash it into cementing paste. And also, I just realized we have not even unlocked the cementing paste engram, so I'm going to go ahead and unlock that. Now, we could have been making that ever since level 13, and it actually gives you a good bit of experience, so that's not a bad way to level up. So I'm going to go ahead and start crafting all of that, and I think I've got some more chitin and stone. So skipping ahead a little bit, I did find some more chitin in my storage and made a bunch of cementing paste. So I'm going to open up the smithy, and we make the Castorides or Beaver Saddle here in the smithy, and we have all of the materials gathered for that. It is a big investment to get all the materials, but it's got some good armor for the beaver, and most importantly, the Beaver Saddle actually works as a mobile smithy. As long as you have a beaver with you, you can use it as a smithy and do anything that a smithy can normally do. Another animal that has that feature is an Argentavis saddle, also works as a smithy. Whereas I think the Argentavis saddle can't actually craft new items, if I've heard correctly, but a beaver saddle does, so it has all of the functionality of a normal smithy. Another cool thing about beavers that not a lot of people know is they actually reduce the weight of most supplies like wood, thatch, stone, all of that good stuff by 50%. So if you have some good weight on your beaver, you can carry twice as much materials as any other animal with the same weight. So we just went ahead and equipped that saddle and gave it a level, and check it out, it's actually pretty cool looking. But the really exciting thing is you've got these folders here which allow you to craft all kinds of good stuff in that smithy. So that's going to be really helpful if we've got our beaver out in the field and we need to make, like, say, some more gun ammo or something like that. If you keep some supplies on your beaver, you can actually make all kinds of stuff in that smithy. So for now, we're not really going to worry so much about that, but we're actually going to ride this beaver. Now, beavers naturally have pretty good movement speed on land. They're reasonably fast, and they can just run through a forest and chop down trees. But where a beaver really stands out is in the water. It's actually faster in water than on land. And oh, check out that shark. So you can easily outrun a shark with a beaver if you've got your sprinting going. But yeah, we're just probably going to leave these guys alone. I was thinking about shooting them with my crossbow, but I think they'll probably run away and it just won't really be worth the trouble. Yeah, I'm just going to leave those guys there. We'll come back and kill them on our way out. So another cool thing about a beaver is if you use the right trigger on bushes. it actually has very high berry gathering efficiency, and it can gather tons of berries. Now, I do have a 2x multiplier on my server, but still, that was one tree, and we got what would normally be about 90 wood and a whole bunch of thatch just from one single tree. Now, my beaver has high melee damage, so it does a lot of damage to trees and gets a lot of wood. But another cool thing about a beaver, if you look at my stamina gauge, my stamina is completely full even though I am sprinting right now. My oxygen is very slowly going down on the beaver. They have very high oxygen stats as it is, but the stamina doesn't go down at all while you're sprinting in the water. So beavers can go really well underwater, and they're actually better than a lot of water mounts. So I'm going to just cut down a couple more trees, and as you can see here, I've already got so much wood that I'm overweight, and we've got stacks of berries too. So I'm actually going to need to drop some of this wood in order to be able to move again. So I mostly want to show you guys how cool a beaver is. I'm not so worried about the supplies. So there we go, we can move again. But check out my stamina. I've lost a bunch of stamina, but as soon as I hit the water, my stamina instantly goes all the way back up. So you can actually clear a bunch of trees next to the water, hop in the water, and then your stamina will recover as you're moving in the water. So it's actually a lot more efficient to take a beaver through rivers and things like that and grab wood alongside the rivers until you're totally full. So that's really helpful, and we can gather crazy fast on a beaver doing that. And if you increase their weight stat, it's really effective because since they reduce the weight of wood and thatch and all that good stuff by 50%, you're effectively getting double the carrying capacity every time you add some weight. Now, if you missed my guide on how to use a beaver before you have a saddle, you can still gather wood very effectively with a beaver even if you don't have a saddle. So you can be level 1 and get crazy amounts of wood. So I'll put a link in the description to the guide on how to do that, where I teach you step by step how to gather crazy wood with a beaver even without a saddle. And I also want to show you something which is just a preview of things that we're going to do later on in this guide. Now, pardon the terrible quality, this is from my Ragnarok series, which I made before I had the equipment for good recording quality. But as you can see here, I have built a base on the back of a parasaur, and because of that, we're actually able to put a beaver on the roof of this base, and the base itself is carrying the beaver from tree to tree in the redwoods of, and that allows it to chop down trees and get so much wood even though it's completely overweight. As long as you have a tribe member or friend sitting on the beaver and telling it to attack the trees, you can actually move it even though it's too heavy to move at all by itself, and you can just keep loading it up so it's got thousands of wood on it. So that is by far the most effective and quick way to gather wood, but I'll show you how to do that later on in this guide series. But I will put a link in the description to my Ragnarok guide series where I teach you how to build a tank on top of a Paraceratherium and how to use this crazy trick to get ridiculous amounts of wood. So be sure to check those out if you don't mind the lower audio and video quality of my much older guides. So I hope this video was helpful. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel if it was. And remember, if we hit 900 subscribers, which is coming up fast, I will do a video where I attempt a Bob Ross painting on the side of a Brontosaurus, which I'm really looking forward to. So be sure to subscribe if you have not yet already, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching this video from the Ark Survival Guide. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful, please like this video and subscribe to our channel so we can bring you more great guides like this one. Ark is an amazing game, but there is so much to learn before you can really enjoy it. We are dedicated to bringing you high-quality guides, tutorials, and Let's Play videos that are fun, helpful, clean, and suitable for the entire family. There's a tutorial in this series for everything we have done so far in this video. Check out these playlists for more episodes from this series and other guides to help you enjoy your journey on Ark.